Hey, Shalom, guys. Welcome to another episode of Parables from the Master, commentary from the Chronicles of the Messiah series from First Fruits of Zion. So today we're going to be taking a look at Luke chapter 5, verse 33. And this is what it says. Like they said to him, see, the disciples of Yochanan or John frequently fast and recite supplications. The disciples of the Prushim do so as well, or Pharisees, but your disciples eat and drink. John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting that day, Mark chapter 2, verse 18. As the meal progressed, the disciples of John, the immerser, posed a question. The disciples of John came to him asking, why do we and the Pharisees fast, but your disciples do not fast? Matthew chapter 9, verse 14. Luke's version adds that the disciples of John fast and offer prayers, as did the disciples of the Pharisees. But Yeshua's disciples went on eating and drinking. They were not asking about public fast days, such as the Day of Atonement or the 9th of Av. They asked about a particular fast undertaken only by the disciples of the Pharisees and the disciples of John the Immerser. This may have been a general practice or regular fasting. John the Immerser was known for his asceticism, and some Pharisees apparently fasted twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, but those were voluntary and personal disciplines. The sages often declared public feasts to respond to a tragedy, military threat, adverse political decree, prolonged drought, or natural disasters. On violent days of the first century gave occasion for many such fasts. The specific mention of John's disciples implies that they have been fasting for John's release from prison. Yeshua explained why his disciples did not participate in the fast. He compared himself to a bridegroom and his disciples to the sons of the bridal canopy, a purely Semitic expression for the wedding attendants or members of the bridegroom's party. While the bridegroom is with them, the attendants of the bridegroom cannot fast, can they? So long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. But the days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast in that day. Mark chapter 2, verse 19 to 20. John the Immerser referred to himself as the friend of the bridegroom and applied the title bridegroom to Yeshua. The master employed John's own metaphors as he explained why he and his disciples were not fasting. In Judaism, weddings and mourning stand in an antithesis to one another. Weddings require rejoicing. In Jewish law, a wedding procession takes precedence over a funeral procession. Jewish law suspends mourning rites for the sake of weddings and forbids weddings during times of national mourning. It was appropriate for John's disciples to fast and pray for their master because he was to them as the bridegroom and they were as his wedding guests. Yeshua's disciples, however, still had their master present with them. It would have been inappropriate for them to fast. Instead, they rejoiced as if at a wedding banquet because the bridegroom was still with them. In the future, however, a time would come when their master, like John the Immerser, would be taken away from them. Then it would be appropriate for them to fast. Yeshua anonymously predicts the days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them. That is to say, one day my disciples will no longer have me with them. This is his first allusion to his destiny of suffering and the coming time of his absence. And that day, his disciples will fast. So now we have it broken down. The bridegroom here clearly represents a rabbi over a school of disciples. Children of the bridal chamber represents the rabbi's disciples. The bridegroom taken away represents death, arrest, or absence of the rabbi. So the meaning behind this whole thing is Yeshua's disciples were not fasting because he is still with them. A time will come when he will no longer be with them, when they will fast. So I hope this brings a little more insight and meaning and light to the entire situation. I hope you guys are enjoying these parable breakdowns that we're doing. Please like, share, subscribe. Send this to someone who you may like. And as always, shalom.